So, it's time to create some drama. Welcome to ML7's Season 3 tier list. It's 9th of February 2023 and Season 3 started a couple of days ago. And me and Chatting Chatters have worked on this tier list. And I've been arguing with chat for the past half an hour about it. So I'm just gonna give you the TLDR as to why I put these heroes in this tier lists. So let's get into it. First hero. We have S tier. 99% broken if you're good. The fuck? I just like booped my nose into this. I think that recent ball buffs made him broken over the top. The fact that you have 150 shields means that you can roll around the map without having to take 2 minis because you regenerate that 150 HP just by staying out of combat, right? So you can have higher uptime in team fights, and that's it. He's just like super fast. Also, I think he got like 2 other changes, like I can't quite remember right now. One was with mines. Mines activate right now faster, so it's harder to actually evade them. And there was another small one. Wait, I'm actually gonna hop in game for a second. There you go, slam, the slam one from 10 seconds to 8 seconds, dude. Which means more damage. The pile drive. I think this is a bit too much, but again, if this is going to be the first time you play ball, you're not going to be that efficient. But if you're a ball main, you're going to thrive. I think that this is your season, at least right now. I think that this is your season, okay? You're going to see that you're going to be doing a lot. Now, let's move into A tier. Giga Chat tier list probably won't force a swap. Reinhardt, Ramatra, and Diva are the tanks that I put here. Reinhardt received a lot of buffs going into Season 3, and I think that he's viable on a lot of maps, not on every map though. Like, I don't think you're gonna see Reinhardt being played on Junkertown, for example. But he's more viable than before, okay? Just my 2 cents. I think that he's going to work, especially looking at the support picks that I'm gonna show you a little bit later. Ramatra received some nerfs. He's not S tier as before, I would say. You can kind of play around him. His ultimate is not as strong as before, but he's still a menace. If you pocket a Ramatra, you'll get a lot of value out of him. So if you don't play Ramatra, honestly, I think that he might be the pick for you. Diva might actually be one of the most strong heroes in the game right now that, my opinion, a lot of players are sleeping on. I think that the numbers that she has right now on her damage, on her mobility, on how strong her ultimate is and stuff, you know, like, I just think that if the situation calls for it, Diva's raw numbers overall are super good. She can deny a lot of ultimates. I think she's good. She can contest high ground. The DM is massive. Good pick overall. Okay, good pick. Tracer. Okay, I think Tracer right now has the same... I think I'm right about this, but I think that Tracer has the same bug that she had before in Season 2, which lets her do more damage from a longer range, which is... not more damage. She doesn't have range damage fall off as much as before, you know? So, she's still really strong. She's still really strong, and Tracer synergizes super well with Ball. Tracer synergizes super well with Ball. Ball dive somebody, you go in the backline. Plus, Tracer is a self-sufficient DPS, as in, you just care about your own HP. If you're low, you don't need that much healing. You go get health packs. You have your recall. You should be fine. Echo. Echo moves up a little bit because of one of the supports that is played here that I'm going to get into in a second. And I think that right now, because we're going to see that some snipers move down in the tier list because another support got nerfed, she might be more viable than before. Sojourn, she's still playable in my opinion. I think that if you play Sojourn, you're not throwing, but you're not ultra hard carrying either. I think if you're a good Sojourn, you will still be able to play her in almost every team comp, but you're not going to be as flashy as before. Now, these 2 picks, Cassidy and Soldier, both of them got some pretty huge buffs at the beginning of Season 3. With Cassidy's range damage fall off increased, I mean, from 20 to 25 meters, so 25% increase of distance from which damage fall off begins, which is huge. He actually can compete on longer duels right now, so he can secure the kills. And Soldier, recoil starts right now, I think, from 5 bullets to 8 bullets, so it's easier for you to land headshots, and additionally, burst headshots, I mean, and additionally, you also have the recoil of his gun is 12% lower, if I remember correctly. Okay, so the spread is lower, so it's easier to play Soldier. So if you played Soldier before and you were insane with him, now, well, he's even stronger than before. Apart from the buffs, some snipers I feel like don't work that much because somebody got nerfed. So Soldier might work in more scenarios than before. I think that these two picks are more of a hot take, putting them in A tier, but if you play them in ranked, and you want to climb, I think you have a lot of chances of actually winning way more games than in the previous 2 seasons when these 2 heroes were not good at all. Now, probably the best surprise, the biggest surprise, not the best surprise because a lot of players are going to be like, oh, Brig again. I think that Brig moves to A tier. The fact that she can throw packs now and she gives you, I think, 25 instant healing and then 50 over the term of 2 seconds means that she heals you for 125, with 25 being instant, compared to 110, which is how much she did before in the previous season, okay, in season 2. So she heals a little bit more variety of packs. Also, one of Brig's biggest weaknesses is the fact that she can't get in range to the enemies. If she can't get in range to the enemies, she can't trigger her Inspire. If she can't trigger her Inspire and hit the enemies, she can't get her ultimate. Well, Blizzard also gave her a buff on her ultimate, which is they decrease the amount of ult charge that you need to get your rally. So you're gonna have more rallies and you can get them easier, therefore. So Brig moves up, and another reason that I feel like she moves up and she might be actually secretly really strong, okay, is because of Ball and Tracer being played. Ball, Tracer, and Echo, all 3 of them work super well with Brig. You can also play Brig to brawl in a team comp with Reinhardt and Ramatra. Not optimal, but you can make it work. If you're getting dived though a lot, like for example you play with Echo, Tracer, Ball, Kiriko and Brig, then you might struggle though with her. But I think that the more we play her, the more we're gonna see that she might need some tweaking in the future. This is a big speculation from me. Baptiste. Moving forward, we have a second support, and it is Baptiste. Baptiste moves up because he synergizes super well with Reinhardt and Ramatra. Snipers are not played that much because somebody got nerfed, so it doesn't encourage you to pocket players that much. Also, you play from roughly the same range as these other DPSs. Lamp is a super good ability. Window is kind of used as a counter to Ramatra's Nemesis form, okay? Because a lot of players were thinking, how do you counter Ramatra and his ultimate, right? Well, you just window him. And yeah, that's about it. So Baptiste moves up a little bit. Okay, he's A tier. Kiriko and Lucio have and will, I think, be for a long time still strong support picks because of their amazing mobility. And in case you're dying a lot, in Overwatch 1 you would play Lucio or Moira. Right now it's Lucio or Kiriko because you have Suzu, you have wall climb with Kiriko. With Moira you don't have that. So Kiriko hypermobility, Lucio hypermobility. To add to this, their ultimates, Fox and Beat, are like 2 insanely high value ultimates. I've lost a ton of games in which the enemy team used Beat and my team used, let's say for example, Nano, or they used Fox, or we used Valkyrie. Beat is such a team fight winning ultimate, and yeah, that's it. This is it for A tier. Now let's move into B tier. Let's go first into the tanks. Roadhog received a small buff. I think that he can cast his ultimate a little bit longer, but before this, but before this buff, he got nerfed, if you remember, like 2 or 3 weeks before season 2 finished, and the nerfs were pretty huge. He's kind of having a rough time one-shotting right now, but, because there's always a big but, okay, I think that he is pretty decent against Ball. You can hook him very easily, and he's pretty okay versus Ramatra. And the biggest thing that I want to talk about is not about the size of his hog, but about the duration of his hog. Because he can cast his ultimate right now, I think, for 8 seconds, compared to 6 or 5 how it was before. You know what that means? That means that if you have Roadhog ultimate, and you just walk to the point, and you just sit and pull it out, and then go, you don't have any hero that can stop him from doing that. If he's pocketed by his supports, then that's it. What can you do? You set on payload, you boop them away. You cap the point every time. Okay, you cap the point every time if you save the whole hog for you being able to like cap the point. Just my opinion on this. Okay, with hog. Like if I would have a goat hog and if they would have a goat hog, I feel like I would be pressured to play Ana, and if I miss the sleep out of him when he uses his whole hog, oh my god. I don't think he's that much of a throw pick as some people are saying. Orisa, she received a buff on her Fortify towards the end of Season 2. A buff, a Nugfy mean on her Fortify. I think 75 less HP than before. She's still really tanky, but she received another one going into Season 3, which is range damage fall off. Starts at a shorter range right now, so she doesn't do that much damage from that big of a distance right now. She has to get like closer to you to do that much damage. She's still scary. She is killable. She is squishier than before, and she still deals a lot of damage, but not as oppressive as she was going into Season 2. Okay, Sigma. The thing with Sigma is, Sigma's one of those tanks that if you play him well, you can play him on almost every map. The big problem that I have with him, though, going in the beginning of Season 3, is the fact that Reinhardt and Ramatra are super good against him. And if you want to play with Sigma, and you put the shield up, a guy's gonna hammer you. Right? If you want to play with Sigma and they have a Ramatra, he's gonna punch you through the shield. If you play with Sigma and you play with snipers in the back, which are weaker right now, by the way, because somebody got nerfed, then they just go past you and you can't do anything. So what are you gonna do? On some maps, though, you might play him and you might see him being the optimal pick, such as on Circuit Royale, Junkertown First Point, just because of how the map is designed with not that many flanks, right? But if it's like an open map, there are probably better picks. Now, going into these three heroes, okay? Going into Junker Queen, Winton, and Doomfist. I think that if you're super good with them, you can still get value out of them, okay? I don't think that they're situational or they need a buff or they're like utterly bad. I think that if you're good with them and you call what you do and you don't do mistakes that many, you can get value out of them. But with Orisa, if you do mistakes or Sigma or Roadhog, you're probably gonna get more value, right? Junker Queen, Winston, and Doomfist, more things have to align for you to be able to play them perfectly, okay? They're not optimal, but you can win. Debatable, though. Sombra. Now, I know a lot of you... this is what we've been arguing about for quite some time in chat, in Twitch chat, chatting chatters. Can the chatting chatters confirm by writing chatting in chat to confirm that we argued before this, chatting chatters? Because everybody was saying no. Okay, everybody that said no will be banned. I have you on my naughty list. Rank is keeping the naughty list. I was saying that Sombra was A tier, okay? But then chat convinced me that she's B tier. Let's go step by step. She received some buffs, okay? She does more damage now. It doesn't feel as imperative as before to start shooting, to hack a target before you shoot them. Okay, before you shoot that target. So she's okay. Also, the fact that they increased the health pack duration, the hacked health pack duration for 30 to 45 seconds, opens up more possibility of spreading out the hacks across the map and not having to hack the same pack over and over and over, because 30 seconds is gonna be over quite fast in 30 seconds. But that buff paired up with Ball, Sombra and Ball are two heroes that synergize super well. Ball and Sombra are, I think, probably the only two heroes, the two heroes in Overwatch that benefit from health packs the most because of how their kits work. Hammond just rolls around and wants to get health pack. Hammond wants to go in, slam, grab health pack, slam, grab health pack, slam, grab health pack, slam. Sombra wants to go hack or shoot or both, out. Hack, shoot, both, out. Literally the same type of playstyle. They can call. We go on Brig. We go on Soldier. That's it. You hack that target, ball slam, Sombra shoots. Over. Now, I was putting her in A tier, but I do agree with you on one thing, though, with you, chat. I think that she might be hard to get value if you're not communicating. And this is a tier list for ranked. Of course, if you have a talkative Ball or a talkative Tracer to follow on who you're shooting, mwah, chef's kiss. But let's be honest, in a ranked, that usually doesn't happen. Okay, let's continue. Genji. The reason why Genji is in B tier and not in C tier is because, not his blade or whatever, is I guess because of his mobility, and I think that Deflect is actually pretty strong when taking duels against these two heroes when you wanna go for them. I think that he can be played in hyper-mobile team compositions. I think that he might not be the optimal pick, but he's not a throw pick. A lot of his counters, I would say, are weaker than they were before, so he might be moving into B tier. I've won a lot of games with Genji in my team. Junkrat received a small nerf from 120 damage, direct hit with his shift, his concussive mine, I think, concussive blast. He does 100 now, which means that it is a little bit harder to one-shot. The thing is that with with a bunch of heroes being like hyper mobile, you're better off just playing with heroes that can actually land or try to think on who you're aiming rather than randomly spamming, and maybe you can get value out of them. Widowmaker got nerfed, 175 HP from 200. She's weaker than before. She can still work on long range maps, but if you go for Widowmaker with Ball, with Tracer, even with Soldier, with Cassidy, long range and stuff, right? Because he can now do damage from 25 meters. I think Widowmaker is playable, but definitely not on every map. Ashe and Hanzo. These two heroes obviously are strong. You can one-shot. The ultimates are okay apart from Hanzo's ultimate, which is mostly a cosmetic ultimate in Overwatch 2. Bob is good. They have pretty decent disengages, pretty decent mobility, insane burst potential, but there's one big problem. Somebody got nerfed. And if you play somebody, then these heroes usually counter this somebody that got nerfed. So this is why I have to put them in B tier. If somebody would still be strong as before, I would put Ashe in A tier. Okay, Torbjorn, his target got nerfed from 250 to 225. This doesn't seem that significant, but when you're playing Tracer and Sombra and Ball, I think you'll feel the difference. Even when you're playing Kiriko, I think that's 6 kunai to destroy a target rather than 7. That's okay. That's the beginning. He's not a throw pick. He can still work, my opinion. Pharah, if the enemy team doesn't have a lot of counters for you, then you can safely get away with Pharah, and if you're a good Pharah player, that is. And now let's move on to the supports, because Zenyatta received the buff from 20 ammo to 25 ammo, and I feel like a lot of players are sleeping on him. I think that he's going to be played a ton, especially because Zenyatta makes tank mains cry. If you want to tilt a tank, play Zenyatta. You have 5 extra balls to tilt the tanks with, okay? You throw them 5 extra balls. The issue that Zenyatta has is the fact that he needs a little bit of help if you go for him. Now, the team comp to play with Zenyatta, the support lineup to play with Zenyatta in Overwatch 1 was Zenyatta and Brig. Brig could offer a bunch of peel and still can do. But there's one big problem that I have with this, and the reason why I haven't moved him up to A tier. The fact that was a setup in 5 versus 5, where you had one extra player that could help you out in case they were engaging you. Right now, I feel like the tank turning around to help you, if you miss position sometimes with Zenyatta, is not gonna happen that much. You're gonna lose the team fight. So 5 versus 5, Zen and Brig, I don't know if that's enough. 6 versus 6, it was enough. Because a team that was strong back then was with Ball, Tracer, Sombra, Zenyatta, Brig, and Diva, for example, you know? So it just depends. He's definitely more valuable than before, and I'm gonna give you a trick, okay? A big trick. If you see a Ramatra in the enemy team and you feel like you can play Zenyatta, play Zenyatta. You are going to make him rage. And I want this to be on video because I will quote this in 6 months, 9 months, a year, or whatever when it's gonna happen. Discord will be nerfed because tanks will screech about the fact that they're getting discorded and their HP is getting melted. He will be nerfed with his Discord orb. I think we're gonna see his Discord orb doing 15% increased damage rather than 25 or 30. I think it will be nerfed, or they're gonna give him a cooldown to it, or rework it. I don't think they're ever gonna rework it, but Zen will be a big problem because they're gonna be like, but he Discord me, I'm not having fun. Unlucky, that's his kit. Okay, Ana. Ana's my most played hero, and you can play Ana. But the thing is, against these heroes, you have to do the impossible. you have to have insane ability usage, ability management, and you have to predict where they're gonna come from. A lot of factors need to align if you want to play Ana. And if you just like play based on instinct and don't think that much when you're playing her, and you're not that experienced with her, then if you land a sleep dart or grenade, they can Suzu, they can DM it, they can press recall, they can roll away and get a health pack. So Ana might be a little bit difficult than before to play. Mercy. With the Mercy nerfs going into Season 3, the biggest change to supports going into Season 3 was the fact that Mercy got nerfed. She got nerfed and she got nerfed hard. I'm just gonna cover the biggest part of the nerf, which was her mobility. The GA cooldown increased from 1.5 seconds to 2.5 seconds, which means that playing Mercy right now requires you to have kind of a higher ability management on your repositioning, okay, on your Guardian Angel usage. So if you want to play with divers and you want to go for Mercy, oh my god, you can't survive. This doesn't mean that you can't play Mercy if the enemies don't dive you, which honestly might be okay, right? Like, I think that no hero should work in every scenario possible. I don't think that Mercy was working in every scenario possible before, but right now I feel like it's gonna be harder for you to play her in every game if you want to play only Mercy. Same with Ana, same with Zenyatta, same with Doomfist, same with Orisa. She has more counters than before, and the situations in which you can play her without getting punished lessen. You know, there are fewer of them. But, and with this I'm gonna conclude the Mercy part, but she might be playable more in suboptimal compositions than before. Not compositions of what the enemies have, but what your team has. As in, you're playing Lucio, Mercy, Reinhardt, and you don't have a good damage boost target. Healing a Reinhardt right now is actually kind of nice. You know, like letting him drop on a half HP for that burst amount of healing. You heal way more than before with this, you know? So, yeah. She's also one of the reasons why a lot of these heroes are right now in B tier, because these were heroes that were benefiting from damage boost that much. Benefiting from damage boost a bunch, right? Let's move into C tier situational. Bastion, Symmetra, Reaper, Mei, and Moira. If the map calls for it, or if you're like a specialist, as in you play these heroes a lot, you will get value, but I think you're going to be probably outclassed by the other heroes. Moira can only bring heal and damage. In a game of Overwatch, you need more than just heal and damage as utility. You need Suzu, you need speed boost, you need a sleep dart, you need increased damage, you need armor, you need lamp. Like, she has to bring more to the table to move higher up. Mei is okay. I feel like her damage is kind of low and they just can't play range with hyper mobility. Reaper kind of has mobility, but it's hard for Reaper to shoot a Tracer. She's just gonna dash away. Ball as well, just gonna run away. Symmetra received kind of significant nerf, I would say. The fact they didn't mention this in the patch notes. If you cast your ultimate, it's a little bit delayed than before. And yeah, I think that's gonna affect her a lot. Also, I think they increased her ultimate cost. Bastion can be used. A lot of players are using Bastion to counter Ball, Reinhardt, and Ramatra, but you need to synchronize with your Baptiste or with Kiriko to help you on the engages to be able to burst them down. And now D tier Zarya. Oh, how the tables have turned. Going into Season 1, we've seen Zarya being S tier alongside Diva. Zarya is D tier now, and Ball, who was D tier, is S tier. I do not understand why they increased Zarya's Graviton charge. Like, you need more damage to get your ultimate up. I think 7% more ultimate points. I don't know when you're gonna play her. She definitely needs some help. I don't understand the nerfs on her, honestly. I don't know what Blizzard is doing. And with this part, we conclude the tier list. The try-hard tier list, I would say 4 ranked. If you're good with the heroes that I mentioned, if you want to win a lot of games. But I will talk about this category for a little bit if you want to stick around for 1 more minute of the video. Which heroes might surprise us, as in they can be weaker than before or stronger than before. And I'm going to start moving them around. Cassidy might be weaker, Soldier might be weaker, Brig might be stronger or weaker, Sojourn might be weaker, and I would say Sombra might be stronger, Genji might be stronger, Zenyatta might become S tier or A tier. And that's about it. These are the heroes that can surprise us in the future. I think that we might see these DPSs move up or down. These supports also move up or down as well. Zenyatta becoming S tier, Brig becoming S tier, Genji becoming A tier, Soldier not being played that much, and these two not being played that much either. We might see these 4 climbing up in the ranks and these 3 going down. Speculation is over. I hope you enjoyed it. And if you liked it, which is a synonym for enjoyed it, make sure to subscribe and leave a like. Have a good day.